every single day. The world buys oil. Every barrel, every tanker, every refinery. For the last 50 years, it was all paid for in one currency, the US dollar, not because the world wanted to, but because it had no choice. That system had a name, the petrodollar, and right now it is dying. In our last video, we explored how the global financial system actually works. We talked about how the US dollar became the world's reserve currency after World War II, how every country holds dollars, trades in dollars, and borrows in dollars, and how that gave the United States a kind of power no empire in history ever had, the power to print money that the entire world needs. But today, we go one level deeper because the dollar didn't stay powerful just because of World War II. Something else happened. Something in the deserts of Saudi Arabia that changed everything. To understand what's happening today, we need to go back to the 1970s, back to oil, and back to one of the most important deals ever made in secret. It's 1971. The United States is in trouble. The Vietnam War is draining money, inflation is rising, and countries around the world are doing something that makes Washington nervous. They're trading their dollars back for gold because that was the deal. The dollar was backed by gold, but America was running out of gold. So on the 15th of August 1971, President Nixon made a decision. He closed the gold window. Dollars could no longer be exchanged for gold. Overnight, the dollar became just paper, backed by nothing. So the question was simple: why would the world keep using it? The answer was oil. In 1974, a deal was made between the United States and Saudi Arabia. America offered military protection, weapons, and security guarantees. In return, Saudi Arabia agreed to sell oil only in US dollars and to invest its profits back into US Treasury bonds. That was the deal. Simple, quiet, world changing. Soon, other oil producing nations followed, and the petrodollar system was born. Now, think about what this created. Every country needs oil, and to buy oil, you need dollars, which means every country must hold dollars, must earn dollars, must trade in dollars. For the United States, this was perfect because now it could print money and the world would still demand it. It could borrow endlessly and the world would still lend. This became known as the exorbitant privilege. America had become the only country that could pay its debts in a currency it controls. For decades, the system worked, but then cracks began to appear. The United States started using the dollar as a tool of power. Sanctions, trade restrictions, financial blockades. If a country went against the system, it could be cut off. And slowly, nations began asking a dangerous question: what if we didn't need the dollar? In 2022, after the Ukraine conflict, the West froze over $300 billion of Russian reserves, money that Russia had saved gone overnight. And the world noticed because if it could happen to Russia, it could happen to anyone. So Russia began selling oil in other currencies, not dollars, but rubles, yuan, rupees. Then came China. For years, China had been preparing for this moment. It introduced the idea of pricing oil in yuan. In 2018, it launched its own oil trading system. And then something remarkable happened. Saudi Arabia, the foundation of the petrodollar, began accepting yuan for oil. The same country that helped build the system was now stepping outside of it. At the same time, a group of nations began gaining momentum: BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Together, they represent nearly half the world's population. They began discussing a system outside the dollar: new trade systems, new financial structures. More countries started joining. The shift had begun. But the biggest disruption might not be political, it might be technological. For decades, the dollar dominated because the financial system depended on it. But now new systems are being built. Digital currencies, independent payment networks. China's digital yuan is already being used for international trade. It doesn't rely on US banks. It doesn't rely on SWIFT. For the first time in decades, countries can trade oil without touching the dollar. Then there's blockchain, a system where transactions happen directly without middlemen. Countries are experimenting with it right now. New financial networks are being created quietly, rapidly, and once these systems scale, the old system becomes optional. At the same time, something else is changing. Energy itself. The world is slowly moving away from oil. Electric vehicles, solar, wind. If oil demand declines, the foundation of the petrodollar weakens because the entire system depends on one assumption that the world will always need oil. But what if it doesn't? So, what happens if the petrodollar fades? For the United States, borrowing becomes harder, interest rates rise, debt becomes more expensive. The advantage it held for decades begins to disappear. For the world, the situation becomes uncertain. There may not be a single dominant currency anymore. Instead, multiple systems, multiple powers, more complexity, more volatility. For ordinary people, the impact is real. Prices may rise, economies may shift. Some countries may gain independence, others may face instability. Because when a global system changes, everyone feels it. But here's the important part, this isn't the first time a reserve currency has declined. Before the dollar, it was the British pound. It didn't collapse overnight, it faded over time, and the same may happen here. The dollar is still powerful, still dominant, but the direction is changing. And here's the twist, the more the dollar is used as a weapon, the more the world looks for alternatives. The very power that sustained the system may be accelerating its decline. The petrodollar shaped the modern world. It defined global power for 50 years, and now that system is evolving. Slowly, quietly, but undeniably. The real question isn't whether it ends. The real question is when it does, who decides what comes next?